And your role?
Okay, Marion Sudbury, Director for Global Operations in Inward Investment within UKTI.
Brilliant. What is the value? Oh, also, if you can say the question and the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I might rephrase your questions then. Yes, okay.
No problem. What is the value for UKTI collaboration and of hosting these tours?
So I think the value for UKTI in hosting these tours, well, there are multiple levels of value. So the tours basically bring people from posts over to the UK, sometimes together with sector specialists and people from the sector teams, to go out to different parts of the country and meet with local partners. And if you think about what we do as a value chain, we've got what the client wants overseas, we've got what the UK has to offer overall at an industrial strategy level and how that translates into a proposition for the UK. But then you've also got all the local detail of what's actually on offer. Where are the opportunities? And so actually spending time in different parts of the country, understanding where the opportunities are for investment, that's absolutely crucial.
Brilliant, you've got a great voice.
Thank you.
Sound great. What is the value of UKTI engagement and of meeting with IBT delegates?
UKTI engagement. I'm just trying to understand that question. What's the value of UKTI engagement and of meeting with IBT delegates? Well, I guess we're talking about the value for whom of UKTI engagement. I guess if we're talking about the value of UKTI engagement with local partners, the value of engagement with local partners, as I said before, is really to do with understanding at a granular level where the opportunities are in the UK. And there's something about, you could sit in your country and get lots and lots of presentations about, well, here's what's on offer here, here's what's on offer there, but there's something about actually physically travelling to a place, seeing that place, smelling it, breathing it, that makes it come alive and that makes you remember it. And anybody who's done any selling will know that when you're talking to someone and you want them to want to go to Birmingham to invest in the automotive industry, or want to go to Coventry and Warwickshire to invest in the automotive industry, actually there's nothing to compare to being able to say, when I was there and I saw this happening, I mean, that really just brings it alive and makes someone understand the passion and want to do it.
Yeah. What are the benefits of colleagues attending a tour like this?
I think every colleague should attend tours like this. I think it's partly, well, it's mainly because the UK is what you are promoting. Your role overseas is to tell people about what's great about the UK and what the opportunities are in the UK. If you don't spend time in the UK really understanding that, then it's very difficult for you to actually put that across to anybody. So the value is really being able to live and breathe what it is that you're promoting. It comes off the page then. It's not just a set of words, it's actually a set of experiences that you can talk about.
Okay. Why should posts use the investment showcase?
Well, the Investment Showcase is a really great tool for posts. It was actually originally designed for client companies, and client companies can access it. But the beauty of it for posts is if you're going in to see a client, let's say it's the very first time, you haven't actually got a specific opportunity yet, so you haven't gone to the IST to ask them for a proposal, a proposition to bring to that client, but you do want to go with something to say and some little hooks to leave with that client so that they want to come back and talk to you further. You can go on the Investment Showcase and you can research a particular sector, a particular subsector, a particular part of the country and see what there is and say, well, so you're interested in investing in ICT in the UK, and of course you've probably heard of Tech City already, but do you know about Media City UK in Manchester? Do you know about what's going on in the creative scene in Newcastle or in Sheffield? It gives you just a bit more to say about that, which makes, again, brings you some stories, brings it alive.
How can posts find out more about UK centres of excellence?
Okay, so if posts want to find out about UK centres of excellence, and those can be a variety of centres of excellence. They can be universities, they could be the Catalyst, the Catapult centres, Catapult centres. They can be different types of centres of excellence. There are a variety of different routes that they can take. So initially they can go on the local investment showcase and they can look at different parts of the country which will tell them about centres of excellence. but then they can also talk to the innovation team within UKTI who are looking at university innovations that are coming out and that want funding from overseas investors. They can also talk with the sector teams about where the centres of excellence are for their particular sectors, and they can talk to the local engagement team about centres of excellence in the English regions, which perhaps are not the very top centres of excellence but might be right for something very specific.
What is the UK first message?
Okay, so the UK first message is something that's quite important to us, which is that we want the investors above all to invest in the UK. And so what we don't want is to give them so much information about different locations in the UK and competing offers within the UK that they feel overwhelmed and think, oh my goodness, it's probably more straightforward if I just go to Andalusia or I just go to Bosnia-Herzegovina. So we want them to actually think about the UK first of all as a fantastic location to invest, and then we want to narrow them down to the right location within the UK. So it's basically about, of course, behind the scenes, our different parts of the UK, our different LEPs are in competition and our DAs are in competition. But actually, as far as the client's concerned, we want them to see as little of that competition as possible. We just want them to see why the UK is a great place for them to invest.
Brilliant. We'll cut there. That sounded
okay.
Really, yeah,
cool.
That sounded really good. Let me
So, just thinking about why the UK is a great place to invest. Obviously, to some extent, that depends on the company and what they're looking for, because every company has a different reason for investing overseas and what it's trying to achieve. But I think in terms of a hygiene factor, the UK is a great place to invest because it's got a stable political and economic environment to invest in, so that you know you've got some certainty about what's going to happen into the future. And we've also got a really good corporation tax regime and so forth, and good labour laws. So it makes it easy to run a business in the UK. So that's kind of your entry level. I think more specifically what companies would be looking for is stuff to do with the opportunity in their particular market. So we've got a large domestic market, we've got easy access to the EU, and within our large domestic market we understand well how to direct them to the parts of their sector where there are opportunities to invest in. And I think that brings us on to the third factor, which is UK trade and investment, and the fact that we're there to help them, and we're seen as a very useful, helpful agency in terms of directing people. That just saves them time, saves them energy, saves them money eventually, because things that save you time save you money. So I think for those reasons it's a great place to invest.
You know, I like that line, things that save you time save you money.
It's true though, isn't it?
Yes. Very much so. Okay, so I'm just going to ask these questions again. Cool, we happy?
Yeah, we are all happy.
Okay, what is the value for UKTI collaboration and of hosting these tours?
Okay, so the value for UKTI in collaborative terms of hosting these tours, I think there are various benefits and various different people get the different benefits, but I think for the posts who come over, they're meeting up with the sector teams and the specialists and then going around the country to meet with different local partners. And I think you learn different things from all of those people, but if I think of our business as a value chain where, you know, the country, the companies in country have specific things they want to gain by investing overseas, and then the UK is quite clear about what its offer is to the overseas, and then within that you've got your different local partners who add particular parts to that offer and who can say there's a local opportunity here which you could invest in, there's a local opportunity there that you can invest in. So it gives a lot of detail and colour, which really helps if you're involved in a sales process, so you're involved in promoting the UK, which is ultimately what we're about. If you can actually talk about stories from local places, that really helps you to put the story across. That was so much better last time I did it. But anyway. Anyway, yeah.
What is the value of UKTI engagement and of meeting with IBT delegates?
Okay, so meeting with IBT delegates, I think That's something, for me, the IBTs, the real value of IBTs are the fact that they actually go to different parts of the UK and they introduce our teams from overseas to different areas within the UK and the opportunities that they offer. And there is something about actually going to the area and feeling it, smelling it, seeing it, getting it into your visual memory that really gives you a passion about it and an ability to recall it and an ability to tell others about it in a way that brings it alive. So I think that that's the real value, is the fact that you actually see things and feel things and can tell people about them with a passion.
Lovely. What are the benefits of colleagues attending a tour like this?
I think all colleagues should come on IBTs on a regular basis. What's the benefit to them in doing that? Well, I think if you are promoting the UK overseas, you really need to know the UK. You know, the UK is your product essentially, and it's what you're offering to your clients. And so by coming on the investment briefing tours, you get to know that product in real intimate detail. That's why they're done sectorally, so that you can understand the particular sector really, really well. And you get to understand the sector story and how to put that story across, and you get little stories within that that you can tell about particular opportunities. So I think those are the real reasons, so that you can actually put the country that you are promoting across well to potential investors.
And why should Post use the investment showcase?
So in terms of why Post should use the investment showcase, it's a great resource for Posts, particularly at the early stages in talking to a client. So once you've actually got a particular opportunity on the go, you can go to the investment services team, you can go to specialists, you can get information, you can get a proposal put together, which you can then take to your client. But when you're first going to see them, you want to have enough to say to be able to hook them in so that they want to have a further dialogue with you. And what you can do on the investment showcase is you can search either by area of the UK or by sector within the UK, and you can find out just some little ideas about where there are strengths in the UK, little stories, little bits of information about centres of excellence and those types of things, which just gives you enough to say to a client the first time you meet them, to give them an idea of what they could get from coming to the UK.
And how can Post find out more about UK centres of excellence?
In terms of how Post can find out about UK Centres of Excellence, there are a number of different routes, but probably the first one I would recommend would be the investment showcase, because there they can have a look through by sector and by area what there is on offer, and that will bring up things like Catalyst, Catapult, I always call them Catalyst Centres, Catapult Centres, that will bring up Catapult Centres, and other universities that can have excellent offers by different areas of the country. And then there are other teams that they can then tap into. So if they've done their initial search on the local investment showcase and want to know more, then there is a team that works on innovation run by Lewis Barson, where they can go and they can talk about what particular universities are doing in terms of innovation. They can talk to sector teams about parts of the country where there are areas of excellence which really support what's happening in their sector. And then they can also talk to the local team if they've got, for example, a client who's in a particular part of the country already and they're looking at developing that existing investor. Even if that isn't really part of the overall sector team offer, it's perhaps quite a small client or, you know, quite a niche part of the country, then the local investment team can help them to understand what centres of excellence there are that that client could be tapping into locally.
What is the UK First message?
The UK First message is all about the fact that primarily we want investors to come to the UK, and we don't want to put them off by offering them lots of competing offers from different parts of the country. So whilst we absolutely have to recognise that different parts of the country are in competition for investments, of course Birmingham wants it to come to Birmingham, Edinburgh wants it to come to Edinburgh, you know, that's absolutely true. What we don't want is to have a big squabble in front of our clients. So what we want to do is work out what's the best offer for this client that will make them be successful when they come to the UK, get that message across, and then gradually move them towards the right part of the country, the best part of the country for them to be successful. And so anything that's to do with competition, we want to keep that behind the scenes and make sure that we put the best foot forward for the UK.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Introduce yourself and say what your role is.
So I'm Oriel Petrie. I am the director here in London for the 150 global accounts that we relationship manage, so they're existing investors. And then I also lead a number of sector teams in advanced manufacturing, in automotive, in life sciences, in agritech, in financial services, and a team that's there to help with companies tap into UK innovation.
Brilliant. Okay, so what is the value of UKTI collaboration and of hosting these tours?
So I think these tours are a perfect way for us to come together as a team from across the globe and to go around the country to have a look at some of the key national assets that we have, if you like, and to get a view for what it is that we can market to specific companies abroad. So it does two things. It helps with us getting to know one another as one team and how we can work effectively together, and secondly allows us to really see on the ground from those that lead a number of key assets in the UK what it is actually about.
And what is the value of UKTI engagement and of meeting with IBT delegates?
You have to give me that again.
No problem.
What are you trying to get to there?
What is the value of UKTI engagement and of meeting with IBT delegates?
So I think for posts the opportunity is to meet people from local enterprise partnerships, from industry, some of our specialists who help us, some of the sector teams here in the UK that set the overall strategy, and some of the people from IST. So it's an opportunity for everybody to come together and to sort of say, here is, for instance, a fantastic opportunity in space at Harwell. Here is an opportunity for us to use that and to take it to a number of companies across the globe that might be interested. For me, the briefing tours are a way to bring alive what it is that we're now trying to do as part of the government's overall industrial strategy and what it is that we think from a macroeconomic point of view we should be bringing into the UK. And it's an opportunity to bring that alive and make sure that we properly understand it right across the team so that we can whet investors' appetite that they want to come here.
Okay. So what are the benefits of colleagues attending a tour like this?
It's an opportunity to meet one another. It's an opportunity to meet the sector heads here in London who have the overview of what it is that the government wants to do in a particular area, whether it's life sciences or agritech. It's an opportunity to meet some of the companies that we think are cutting edge and are really driving some interesting ideas here in the UK. It's an opportunity to see clusters where various companies are working together to drive lots of interesting ideas. And it's an opportunity really to use it as a way to bring alive a lot of the material and the marketing material that we have on paper and to supplement that with a better understanding of what it means on the ground, but also to have the lines in to the various people across the whole of the UKTI network if you have questions that you know who to go to. So I would expect, and I know that people have found it useful, that people go back from an investment briefing tour with a clearer understanding of what it is that we do and why we do it, and with a much deeper understanding of how we can put forward the particular value proposition to companies.
Brilliant. And what is the UK First message?
So the UK First message is very simple. It is that as UK Trade and Investment, we should be putting forward those propositions, those commercial opportunities that are the most competitive, irrespective of where they happen to be, irrespective of who is promoting them. And that has to underpin everything that we do. We can't be biased in any way. We can't say, well, we like the southeast, or we have a particular interest in the northwest. We have to go on the facts of what it is that is on offer that is globally competitive. I'd add to that as part of the work that we're doing to align with the government's industrial strategy and what it wants to achieve on a 20-year horizon, it's really important that we think how we can make the most of what here in Whitehall we call the rebalancing of the economy, away from just the southeast and London, but also away from just services to manufacturing and other areas. So you have a UK First principle, but within that there is definitely an interest for us to look at opportunities that perhaps aren't as obvious as they may seem in the first instance. So what are the tech opportunities, for instance, in Manchester, where there's a fantastic offer. What are the financial services offers for Leeds, for Edinburgh, so that we're not just saying financial services, that's got to be London. We're not just saying tech has got to be Tech City in London, that it's much more spread. So it's incumbent on us to kind of have a real understanding of what the spread is across sectors and across commercial opportunities. And these briefing tours are specifically designed to give a feel for that. So the last financial services briefing tour did not just stay in London, it went out to Northern Ireland and it went out to Wales and highlighted the specific opportunities there. So I guess that would be my sort of analysis of what I think the UK First proposition is.
Okay, brilliant. How can posts find out more about UK Centres of Excellence?
That's a really good question. Posts can find that out through lots of different means. I think in a way that we didn't before, we've got a much clearer idea of what the Centres of Excellence are. We also have a much better idea of what we're focusing on, and we do that through the sector teams, and for those sectors where we think there is a really exciting opportunity. We've got these investment organisations where we've brought in industry leaders to help us to define the offer. And so when you're looking for Centres of Excellence, if you're in post and you're thinking, my goodness, where do I start? The best place is really to go to the organogram of the people here in HQ, either to go to the people who lead on a number of sectors, or to go through Marion's global operations teams, so people like Steve Mason and Colin Wilcox and Alistair Jones, to really navigate the way round to where the best answer to your question is. We have a wealth of knowledge and experience, and it isn't always clear who you need to ask. But I think if you start with either Marion's team or with our sector teams, you're pretty likely to find out where you can get the answer to a specific question on Centres of Excellence. And I would hope that an awful lot of our core materials in sectors also has kind of heat maps of where particular Centres of Excellence lie.
Okay, brilliant. Cool. Cut there.
Cut down?
Yeah.